All right, guys, let's check out a new release from Reiser. This is the Alpen, and it's an interesting shape in, the world where we have a bunch of these round watches. It's kind of fun. This isn't the only one, but I've gotten some other ones in that are definitely their own style and unique shape. And in this case, we also have an integrated bracelet into the case, so that's always very comfortable and fun to see too. So this is a prototype from the brand, so there are a few changes, and we'll cover those in a moment, but let's just get right into the case size, and then we'll talk about the styling cues. So case size, you're looking at essentially a 41 millimeter side to side. I think I measure like 41.2 to be exact. The lug to lug is a 48.5. You can see this one, like I said, it's a prototype, so you can see it's kind of extended from the bracelet. That's going to be changed. That's actually one of the main changes in the production model, is the integrated bracelet is going to be a little bit wider, so it's going to kind of fit the case a little more smooth, and it's going to articulate immediately after the case, so it's not going to extend the lug to lug at all. So that'll be super comfortable in a lot of different wrist size. Thickness, just over 11 millimeter thick to the flat sapphire crystal. It does have a display case back with a screw down case back, displaying the Seiko NH35 with the custom rose gold colored rotor. So that's pretty fun looking as well. The width up here, because it is integrated, so it's not really going to be a lug width, but we're looking at about 25 millimeter total up here. So don't get that twisted. We're so used to seeing 20 or 22. I'm not talking about the lug width here. I'm talking about total width. And then the bracelet tapers down really nice to just under 18. You have a butterfly clasp, and it does have to be closed one side first and then this side, because it has that nice little signed piece there, which articulates too. So everything articulates on the bracelet, and has been softened too, meaning that there's no sharp edges. It has a nice polished relief there, and it flows really good. And that's kind of the whole thing with the whole case. You're looking at the top, and you basically see kind of an octagon, I guess, for the bezel, but I feel like it's a soft octagon because it's also kind of rounded. And then you have these interesting polished reliefs here along, and it widens out along the side on both sides, and it just gives it a nice contrast from the very nicely deep brushing going north to south here, and then you have that polished relief there, which is very well done. And then the contrast from the brush to the polished surfaces are really what make this watch, I think, on top of the fact that it's just a unique shape. Push-pull crown, also in the octagon feature there, also signed with the R for the brand, and that's going to give it the 50-meter water resist. So it's not like a swimming sports watch. This is more of just a regular everyday sports watch for sure. We have the black variant here. There are other colorways, but before I talk about the dial here, I want to tell you about the other colors. So there's a blue one, there's a green one, of course this black one, and then for a little bit more, you can get the whole case in a rose gold with the bracelet. Also, there is a fitted leather strap that you can get with a butterfly clasp as well. I don't know, unless you're in love with leather, I would say get the bracelet model, because the bracelet is actually really good. So if we're looking at the dial here, you can see you have nicely applied indices. You also notice down at the bottom there, made in Germany. Yes, these are assembled in Germany, obviously using a Seiko movement and parts sourced wherever throughout the watch world, but they are final assembled in Germany. So you can see a nicely sized handset that completely fits the watch, and you're going to have a lot of real estate for lume, which is often lacking in watches of this style. I noticed that. So very simple. You have the branding up top, automatic, made in Germany. The rest of the dial is left alone, so you can see that interesting pattern there. It almost plays mind tricks with you. Sometimes you can't tell, if it's like raised up or going down, but it's just the way they shaped the contour of the dial there, so it gives it a nice dimension, I think. So let's pop this guy on wrist. Price wise, I'll put a link in the description. You'll find that the pricing for the bracelet model, excluding the rose gold one, The bracelet model is going to be $625, or you can do the leather one for $590. But like I said, get the bracelet one, guys, because look at that. The light play on that is just killer. And I have a 7.25 inch wrist. And like I said, this is going to articulate immediately on the production model. It doesn't really matter with me because I'm not, you know, maxed out here. But if you have a smaller wrist, you're going to be able to still wear this in the production model. This is just a prototype here. And for a prototype, I think it's very clean. I didn't see any debris or anything like that. It's really well done. And the loom application is actually pretty good too. Let me kill the lights so we can check the loom. So there you go. Like I said, usually do not have a very good application of loom on this kind of genre of watches. And you have a decent application here. It looks like a nice application of BGW9, has a cool blue look to it and plenty legible. And you can tell where the date is because that's kind of just relief with a small loom. And then you have the double candy bars up there for the 12 o'clock. So super legible. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid.